Hello! Oh, this is all. Can you hear me?
We can hear you!
Woo!
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Oh, this is so exciting. And you guys are 5th grade, right? This is 4th grade, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are 3rd grade?
3rd grade.
3rd grade,
Yep.
yes. Today is World Read Aloud Day. So
Woo!
authors are doing this at classrooms all over the country, all over the world. So this is really cool. I'm happy to be here with you guys. And then my newest book is this one, which is called...
We just watched one of your videos.
Oh, you
We
did?
just read All is All, and what else did we read?
Yeah, that's the spot.
Just-
That's the spot, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so this is it.
That's okay.
And this book is, I'm so excited. So this is, I did the poems, and then, I don't know if you saw, like it has like cool illustrations and artwork. There's Ball is All, look at that. And so the artist is Amanda, that's her right there, and she's amazing. And so I looked at her illustrations, her paintings, and thought, what's going on with this animal? And wrote poems about that. So I'm going to read a couple from these, but first, raise your hand. How many of you have pets? All right, how many of you have dogs? Oh, how many have cats? How many have something else? What do you have other than dogs or cats? Can we answer that? Hermit crab.
Fish,
Fish.
Electric gecko.
A
gecko,
a gecko.
bunnies,
Bunny.
ooh, a diamondback rattlesnake.
Whoa, as a pet. Whoa.
I have a turtle.
A turtle.
Yeah, I also have a dingo. A dingo?
What? Now, you watched Ball is All, right?
Yeah, we didn't read it.
I was gonna read it. Can I read that one to you live?
We was on that.
This is the illustration that Amanda had of this dog right here. And what I saw in this is, have you ever been around or had a dog that loves to play fetch with a ball? Yes, right? So that's what I saw is this dog right here saying, hey, why don't you just throw the ball? Throw the ball to me, throw the ball. All right, here we go. Ball is all. Why do you sip that drink? No time. It is there, right there at your feet. Do you not see? All you do is pick up ball. Right there, ball. Pick up, throw. And I will be running, leaping. Catch. Oh, no. Catch. I will eat from the air. Twist and dance to show you. Then drop the eaten air. There, right there, at your feet. Just pick up. Throw again, and I will soar like... I have already forgotten. I will soar like I never have. Why do you sip that drink? It is there, right there. Do you not see? Why would you ever want to do anything else? Ball is all.
We love
Thank you,
that.
guys. I had not caught the ball in my mouth before, so that was an experience. Luckily, ooh, it's a little fuzzy. Okay, so this one, all right, take a look at this. This is the illustration that Amanda did. What do you guys think is going on with that dog?
He's like staring up at something.
Angry.
This dog accidentally rolled in paint.
Is what?
He accidentally rolled in paint.
I love that. I love that everybody sees something different.
Begging for food.
Oh my goodness, that's what I saw. You ever see a dog like begging for food at the dinner table?
Oh,
Yeah. So that's what I saw with this dog. Like it's either at the kitchen table like this, or you're outside like eating a hot dog. And it's like, come on, come on, come on, give me some of that. This is called, Are You Gonna Eat That? And this is a rhyming poem here. All right. Are you gonna eat that? I was wondering, oh please, please, if I could have some or just all of that leftover pizza. That hot dog perched on the edge of your bun. You don't need it all. Maybe I could have some. Also, might I recommend not using a plate? Or just let me clean it. It's okay. I will wait. And oh my, that filet mignon. Are you sure? Are you certain? All of it's gone? There's no need for garbage. Save the whole lot for me. Oh, except no thank you. Not broccoli. I wrote this poem, and like 2 days ago I went to another friend's house and they have a dog. Guess what that dog loves to eat? Broccoli. What? It likes broccoli and raw carrots. I'm like, I don't know.
Raw carrots?
Yeah. It's gonna be the healthiest dog in the world, I guess, right? Okay, so this is mostly pets, but there's also other animals in here, like there's a hippo and a rhino and a squirrel. This one is a wolf. And so I saw this painting of Amanda's and I was like, that's kind of scary a little bit. So I'm gonna write a poem about fear and about like looking that wolf in the eyes and like facing fear. So this is a poem called Fear. And it's about facing up to fear. All right. Fear. It comes in waves, mostly at night. A creeping shadow. I see you, fright. With eyes that blaze and dripping fur and all the rest a formless blur. But I am quick. I turn and flee. This time, fear, you won't catch me. One day, though, I'll stay and greet you, and with shaky gaze, I'll defeat you. Fear. Oh, thank you. Okay, so this is this squirrel, and you can tell he's got like a little nut or something. I think I have one here. Oh, do I have? Yeah. I've never read this poem out loud, so this will be fun. And this is called My Secret. So I picture him having like this little tiny nut right here. Okay, we'll see. This one, does this rhyme? Oh, this does rhyme too. All right. My secret. Ah, I have it here. Yes, 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 my precious dear. I searched and scrambled, branched and brambled, leapt and climbed and even ambled until it felt like I was scrambled. But I am not. Oh, no, 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 no. I am quite sane, assuredly so. I have caught it here in my furry grasp. It is mine, mine at last. Now, if you please, if you wouldn't mind, I must go hide it where no one will find. So this is a gecko. See if I can put him up there. Oh yeah, there he is. He's got like his tongue hanging out, right? This is the shortest poem in the book too. What do geckos or lizards eat? Bugs, mealworms, any kind of bugs or insects, right? All right. So that's what I saw with this guy. This poem is called Party of One. Party of One. I am alone, happy and elated. A fly was here too, but I just ate it. Party of one. So this one is called Stick, and it's this dog that has this stick that it's kind of been playing with, but now it's just sitting on the ground with the stick. All right. Stick. Why? Because it is here. You can toss it, throw it with all your might, cast it into the deepest weeds. Still, I will find it, bring it back, keep it close. Like you have done with me. That day I was tossed, I barely remember. When I was left there, and you found me. I do not know what adopted means. I only know where I belong, where I stick, where I will always keep coming back. Stick. So this is, I love this illustration by Amanda. It's not a chameleon, but it's a bearded dragon. That's what that lizard is called, which I think is just cool. So this poem is called Dragon Sighting. There are lots of things to be scared of. Earthquakes, snakes, the dark. But the scariest of all is the unknown. Because have you ever seen a dragon? Me neither. Not yet. Dragon sighting. Oh.
Ooh, eerie.
I know.
This was so fun.
So, do you guys have any questions at all?
What inspired you to make poems about like pets?
The pet poems. What was your inspiration?
Yeah, I think so. For these, a lot of it was looking at like Amanda's art that was in there, and so we met, and I had this one poem, and it was about a bird. It was called Bird Dreams, and I sent it to her, and she did this bird art for it, and I was like, oh, that is so cool. What if we flip it around, and I look at your art and write poems about them? So that's how it worked, and so we had this cool teamwork, and it really worked really well. So her art.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any typos, or did you miss some stuff that you had to read through?
Yes, absolutely. So lots of typos. And so the publisher would catch the typos. Do you know who my best proofreader is? My mom. I would send her the stuff, and she caught stuff that nobody else did. I'm like, Mom, you're the best. So in the dedications page, at the back, the very first thing is to the best proofreader and mom ever.
Oh, my mom is a poet.
What? Oh my goodness, that is awesome. High five for Poet Mom.
How did you become a writer?
Oh, that's a great question. So when I was your age, I loved to read a lot. So I had a lot of different books that I read. Poetry, but also a lot of stories. And then for the poems, this kind of magic thing happened about 8 years ago. My friend, she said, hey, let's get together with typewriters and write poems for people on the spot. And so what we did was like, we were at weddings and schools and museums, and people would come up, and we had a sign that said, any topic, we'll write a poem. And they would give us you say, hey, what would you like a poem about? And they would say, I want a poem about a tennis ball, or a gecko, or an octopus playing tennis, whatever. And we would make up the poem on the spot on a typewriter.
Wow.
And then I kind of did the same thing with this. Like I would look at something like, pretend a dog came up to the poetry table, and I said, dog, what do you want a poem about? And that was, I want a poem about throwing the ball, or giving me the leftover pizza, whatever.
What's your favorite one to write, like rhymes or like anything like that?
Oh, that's a great question. My favorite poems to write are probably rhyming poems, because I can hear them in my head, and then on the typewriter, if I'm doing it, you can kind of hear it on that. My number one favorite type of poem to do, so when we go to events, like say it's at a museum or something, or a wedding, and we have this typewriter, and people come up, and I say, I'll write you a poem on any topic. When people give me 2 or even 3 different things to combine into a poem, that is my favorite kind of challenge. If somebody said, I want a poem about a soccer ball and, I don't know, Hogwarts, which is up here, right? Then or something like that, right? So, or a soccer ball and a lamp. Combining 2 things that you wouldn't have combined together. That's my favorite kind of poem to write.
Did you create Harry Potter? Because I see the Hogwarts. Probably.
I wish. Oh, I would be a gajillionaire.
How many poems have you written?
I think probably, so with my typewriter, probably 20,000 poems. And then there's 71 poems in here. There's probably 50 of my poems in here. So 20,121, if I did my math correct. It's a lot of poems.
How long did it take you to write all these poems?
Yeah, I would say, well, for this book, like we would go back and forth editing and revising. So doing all the poems for me probably took about 3 to 4 months. And then Amanda had like her artwork that she did, like these jellyfish here. The opposite of that, when I do a poem on a typewriter, when somebody comes up and asks and says, hey, I want you to write me a poem about an octopus in a tree or whatever, those poems usually take about 2 minutes. I do them right then on the spot. They're just typed up poems like this.
How do you come up with the poems so quickly?
That's a great question. So I go with the very first thing that pops into my head. If you said octopus, I would be something like, well, it has 8 legs, or maybe it has a bunch of ink, or maybe octopuses are super smart. I don't know. Whatever it is, and then I just start writing. Sometimes it really surprises you. And oftentimes if it's a longer poem, and let's say I started a poem about an octopus, I have no idea where that poem is gonna go. That's kind of exciting. Because it's just like, I'm on this discovery, this journey as we go. And several of these poems happen. My favorite poem in here is the longest one, and it's about a rhinoceros. And I had no idea where the poem was going when I started, but it became this cool journey about how a rhinoceros came into being, like the origin story of a rhinoceros. And so it was really fun. This is from 1928. Wow. I know, and it still works. This is an old machine, but it is awesome.
Why use the typewriter?
Why use a typewriter? What was the second part of that?
Instead of a computer.
Oh, right. Oh, great question. Love it. So, a couple things. So a typewriter, it's a little heavy, but you can take it anywhere. And it doesn't need batteries or plugging in, so you never have to charge it. I've taken this up on the top of a mountain before. I can type up there, which is pretty cool. The other thing that I love about the typewriter, which is probably gonna sound a little weird, is that you can't fix your mistakes on a typewriter. So on a computer, you make a mistake or something you don't like, you just delete it, right? On this typewriter, it literally pounds the letters in ink on the paper. You can't take it back. So what I like about that is, okay, I know I'm gonna make mistakes. I know I can't fix them, so I don't worry about it. When I type a poem the first time on a typewriter, it comes out with mistakes, and I'm not worried about those. And I think it's kind of this way, it's a really good way, I think, to write a first draft of something, so you're not worried about doing the right thing. Thank you, great question.
Great answer.
Are there numbers on the typewriter?
Are there what on the typewriter?
Are there numbers?
Oh, yes.
It's also back into
It's like a keyboard.
Yeah, it's like a keyboard, except, can you see what number is missing? 1. So what they did back then is they were trying to save space. So to make a 1, you do a lowercase l. It looks exactly like a 1 on a typewriter. The other thing that's missing on the typewriter, there's no exclamation point. So you have to do an apostrophe and then backspace, and you do a period underneath it. You have to create your own exclamation point, which is kind of cool.
Is there a key on it?
Oh,
A shift key.
yes. Okay, and this also, this will be your little lesson for the day. So, can you see down there where it says shift key?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The whole reason that the word shift exists is because of typewriters. It doesn't have anything to do with computers. when you hit the shift key, can you see this roller thing on the top?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's gonna move it. It moves that whole thing. It shifts this thing to a different position. And what that does is there are keys on here. The bottom of the key has lowercase, the top has uppercase, and it shifts it. It moves it so that the key hits at a different place on that ruler. That's where the word shift comes from, because it would shift the mechanical part of a typewriter. Has nothing to do with the computer. So that key is left over from the 1920s, but they still call it that on a computer. I don't know why.
Where did you get the typewriter?
Oh, that's a great question. They don't make typewriters anymore. So this typewriter I bought, you have to buy them used, and I got it on eBay, which sells used stuff. You can also, some antique stores will sell them too. So I got them there.
I want my typewriter. That's a bit sad.
What's that?
Yeah,
She said that's a bit sad.
That nobody makes them? I
Does that
know.
mean that like no one makes them?
I know. What's tough too is like if something breaks, I have to learn how to fix it because nobody really repairs them anymore either. It's kind of fun, but it's a challenge.
they're all being replaced by computers.
I think I have 50 typewriters.
I want.
No. So that usually happens if it gets a little dirty or some gunk down in the part that moves. So you have to like clean it out that's in there. So it'll move back and forth real easily, but if you don't clean it out, and sometimes they'll put like a drop of oil in there because it's moving parts to kind of keep it going like that. But yep. Usually it's just there's some dirt in there. And you know what you use to clean a typewriter? The dirt? You ever go to the dentist and they have that dental pick that has like a point on the end? Yeah, that's what they clean typewriters with. It scrapes the stuff out of there. It's kind of cool.
How did you get all these basic ideas for your poem?
I think what helped a lot was I would see like, oh, here's this picture of a dog, and I would think, what is going on with that dog? This poem is actually called Smoosh Face, because that's what the dog looked like to me. But it's sort of, or this dog is like much more serious. And so I would look at those and think, what's going on with that? But other times, it's just things that are interesting to me, or kind of I'm looking around at the world. Like I can look out my windows right now and there's actually a little goldfinch bird on the bird feeder out there, and I could write a poem about it. So it's kind of observing what's going on around you. But also looking at things, like just looking at a dog and see, what do you see? Everybody sees it different. It's kind of cool.
I like the, are you going to use that poem? Because it reminds me of my dog Remy who died January. And also, it really inspires me to write poems. I should write a poem and it should say at the beginning for Sean, who inspired me to write poems.
Oh, I would love that. Oh, you should write a poem for Remy. That would be awesome. Yeah, and it's a cool tribute to your own pet. I think that's a great idea. Look at your pet and see what would it say, or what would you say to it?
We love this so much.
Guys, how lucky are you to get to Zoom with the real life author? That is pretty cool. What do you say to Sean?
Thank you! All
I
right.
appreciate you. What a fun part of our day today. Bye.